Bruce Lee, the dynamic and charismatic martial artist who was way ahead of his time. But did his total drive, dedication and determination to perfecting his art accidentally lead to his own premature death? He died suddenly and mysteriously at the height of his fame, aged only 32. There was all sorts of speculation to the cause, that he had been assassinated, poisoned, it was heat stroke, an allergic reaction to painkillers, or he even drank too much water that affected his kidneys. He died from cerebral edema, excess fluid, swelling in the brain. But what might have caused that? Lee took his conditioning to the extreme and often used to overtrain, with an intense daily routine that included weights, instruments and dummies, resistance training and hardening by making contact strikes against objects. He was one of the founding fathers of what was later called mixed martial arts, and his Jeet Kune Do fighting method advocated an applicable adaptability to every situation, using any technique that worked, even if unorthodox, like biting.
When you're talking about fighting as it is,
no rules.
With no rules,
not real fighting.
Well then, baby, you better train every part of your body.
He was always working on new fighting techniques, and one he would often use was the headbutt, the old Glasgow kiss. He had used it several times on screen. Some Jeet Kune Do students later claimed they had seen him training on occasions, doing intense workout routines that included practice blows, butting his forehead on punch bags and sandbags. So at some point, did he just strike his head a bit too hard? It certainly wasn't a very good idea, but back then, the dangers of head impacts and the potential for traumatic brain injury were much less recognized than they are today. So perhaps it was over-enthusiasm and unintentional self-injury that eventually led to his death. A simple accidental misadventure. But nobody could quite believe that somebody in such great physical shape, so seemingly indestructible and invincible, could just die so suddenly and so young. And elaborate theories replaced the more obvious ones. But nobody is indestructible. It's easy to damage your body. Real life isn't a game where you can just find new health. In 1970, an accident during a warming-up exercise had already put him in a spinal brace for 6 months and nearly ended his career. He was told he might not even walk again, let alone practice kung fu, but managed to make a recovery and do the films that made him a superstar. He's since passed into legend and achieved immortality as one of the most influential martial artists ever. He wanted to be the very best, so I think he would be pleased that even today, his magic still lives on.